Ahmad Jamal, Poinciana. First the elements, then I'll explain them. Hey everyone, Tony Winston here, Jazz Piano College. Got a request to do a little work on Poinciana. And I don't have a chart, I just wrote a few little notes after listening to Ahmad Jamal's famous recording live at the Pershing Hotel in Chicago. And he did play this song several more times and recorded it several more times. And it's quite different on some of the other versions, but I think this is the one we'll jump into first anyway. It's going to kind of go over some of the elements of the song, and you can listen to it and put it together the way you want to. And I even came up with an idea or two for a solo piano. If you have a grand piano with a sostenuto pedal or a keyboard with a sostenuto pedal, you can hit these chords like this and have those sustain and have some more staccato notes to play some bass lines. So anyway, let's take a look at the intro first. He starts off pretty high like this, and it's really hard to say what his exact chord voicings are. Well, I don't think it was that, but so it could be like something like that. We've got like a G major seventh and a D triad here, but it's over an A, so it's really an A suspended or an A 11th chord. Now, you could maybe play an A as your bass note if you're doing solo. And really, lots of combinations of notes will work as long as you stick to the D major scale there. You know, you decide what sounds best. I think it's something kind of like this. And then, and that's a diminished chord right there. And once again, it's over an A, so it's an A7 flat 9, that being the flat 9. And then the song begins. Starts off with just a D6, then the suspended, then an A7, and I'm doing a rootless voicing here. It's like an F sharp triad there. And you know, it's an A13 with a flat 9, I do believe. And sometimes he changes the rootless voicing like this, and sometimes he doesn't, so it's really hard to say. You know, it's going to sound good either way. On to a D minor. And if you hit that sostenuto pedal, you can go. Maybe something like that. Now the original melody is, but many times he goes like that, so. And then filling in as much of that as you can with the chords. Then he goes up higher. I think on the very first time he does like a half step, you know, a G sharp minor down to G minor. Now here, if you keep the G minor down there, you get some nice, you know, extensions to the chord. Like right there, or right there. And once again, sometimes he does. In the bridge, and he has several clever ways of handling the bridge, but the first way is pretty much the standard way. In other words, he sticks to the melody. But he always throws it in this 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it kind of goes into the key of A major there. So it's like 1 and 2 and. Or however you're counting it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Starts with A major 7th, B minor, C, and then a 2, 5, 1. Then that the bass player plays that, and Jamal plays it once or twice. Then the bass. Now here we are. The song's in A, B, A form, so that was the B section. Now we're back to that last A, and he quotes another song. Now if you're a younger person, you probably don't recognize what this quote is, but it's I'm glad there is you. I used to sing this song. In this world of ordinary people, extraordinary people, I'm glad there is you, but then he goes back to the song. Like that. Got to talk a little bit about Ahmad Jamal. His style is very, well, especially in this song, it's very economical. It's minimalistic. You know, he doesn't play a whole bunch of stuff, but what he plays is really nice. And I think it's really great how he he can take the verse of the song, you know, this verse, and just put a completely different thing to it. And what he does in the second verse is and there I just did octaves, but he fills it in with better chords. I just didn't want to fuck it up. All right, so he does that a couple of times. I think he does that on the first and the second verse, yeah. And then, and you know, it's nice on the G. It just stops right there. A lot of space in this song, and then plays that. And then we get to the bridge, and you know, the bridge normally goes. All right, so that's G minor, you know, and you know, a typical chord progression is G minor to C, that would go back to D. So he just goes to the C, and he does a really great chord voicing, one that I'm very familiar with. Root, third, seventh, 9, 13, root. And it goes. And then. And then let's see, what does he do? Oh, he does some real high improv, like. It's not that exactly, I'm just making this up, but it's something like that. But he usually comes back to the theme there. Okay, then on the third verse, once again, you know, he comes up with something very interesting, and he does these descending chords. So he starts with a D6. I think this is the voicing. It's something like this. Goes down a half step, like that. This is a chord voicing. You're not going to find anything like this in a textbook, because this doesn't really follow any rules. It just sounds good. And then he has like a G major there. I don't think the A's in there, but I put it in there. And then it's an A 11th or A suspended, whatever you want to call it. Like that. It does the same thing in D minor. It's something kind of like, it's definitely like a D minor sounding chord on the second one. And then a G chord. And another D minor. So it really sticks to the D minor, the Dorian mode here. And then G comes up. This is a typical kind of George Shearing, you know, minor 6, diminished. It might be a minor 7th. And then going back to D. Just does that once, and then the bass kind of fools around a little bit. So he does those descending chords, and then in the second A section, he comes back in with I'm Glad There Is You. Just starts with that. Plays it kind of short like that, and then. Now you could go. But more often he does this. Then we get to another bridge, and once again he goes into the key of C, and he does something kind of squirrely here, I think. He does these C arpeggios, something like this. And then the bass is probably doing this. And then he comes back and does a little improvisation in octaves. Now in the fourth verse, he just kind of hits these chords, and the bass takes a little solo. In the fifth verse, Ahmad Jamal plays some very typical Ahmad Jamal kind of stuff where he likes to get up really high in the keyboard. He likes to play up in this range and just keep it kind of sparse. So he does this. All right, that's the D major, and then the D minor is. All right, so let me show you slowly. It just starts with this. And then the pickups are like that. And then once again. Then the same thing, except those are the pickups, and then. And then the G minor is. And he does that quite a bit. Oh yeah, a really great thing he does. Wow. It's possible he's doing that in octaves and going 4, 3, 2, 1. This hand will go, and this hand will cross over like this. So he's definitely playing some chords down here. So you could do a little something like that, I suppose. Yeah. So first it's on the suspended chord. We're not here to copy Ahmad Jamal. We want to make the song our own. So there's lots of things we can do with this. And it's a great song for beginning improvisers because there's really only like 3 or 4 chords really in the song. You got D major, just some like little enclosures, and maybe come up with some riffs using this. So right there is not really an enclosure. It's just kind of a chromatic approach tone. But if you do that, then it's an enclosure. In other words, we're enclosing that note. And then we're using the bebop scale, which is a D major scale with the addition of this note. All right, that way it kind of comes out even. See? That way the notes on the beat are the notes you want. And you could do something on D minor like this. In the minor bebop scale, the extra note usually comes right there as the major 7th. And put a little enclosure there. And G minor. Maybe something like that, you could get a nice solo version going. All right, it's a wrap. Thank you very much for tuning in. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you again soon.